Well, a very good morning. Thanks for clicking on to the Friday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. We do have a rather wintry theme out there this morning. We've seen plenty of snow through the course of the last 48 hours. For many parts of the UK, this has been the first snowfall of the winter so far, and there is a significant ice risk as well, not just through the course of today but also into the overnight tonight. We are going to see clear skies tonight. We're going to see somewhat later winds, and the temperatures are going to drop very significantly indeed. Through the course of today, we are going to see further heavy wind-blown snow across, particularly northern parts of Scotland, creating very difficult travel conditions. Blowing and drifting is going to be a problem in exposed routes as well. Down the east coast, we are going to be talking about gale force northerly winds. It's going to have a distinct bite to that wind, and we're also going to see the potential for some storm surge flooding as well as the North Sea starts to kind of pile up as it moves southwards here. So we could see some significant coastal flooding with this event as well. But further inland, we're going to see a mix of snow showers and bright spells, and really precipitation falling as snow over inland areas. There's plenty of cold air to speak about, but we do have some change coming as we go through this upcoming weekend. The high pressure to the west is going to then start to have more influence. At the moment, we've got a kind of straight northerly airflow, making things rather wintry indeed. Like I say, with further snow accumulation across more northern parts of the UK, even down across southern parts of the UK in the last 24 hours, we've seen some significant snow even in the London area, and that really is a rare event in recent years, at least anyway, since 0910. We've not really seen much in the way of snow across more southern parts of the British Isles. But we, like I say, we do have mild air coming in from the west as we go through, particularly the latter half of the weekend. The cold air kind of getting forced down into the near continent, even the southern part of the UK. But you can see here the lighter blues now starting to show up here. This is the 850 millibar temperatures, by the way. And while it stays cold during the day tomorrow, after a night where we probably will see, if you get enough clear sky, there's plenty of snow on the ground up north, deep snow at that, with clear skies and shelter from the wind. We could potentially see -10 quite easily in some parts of the Highland Glen areas. Plenty of very chilly air across the western Mediterranean, if you notice here, but the reason why is we've got this push of milder Atlantic air making inroads across the northern half of the UK in particular, but it essentially forces all that Arctic air out of the way. And that's a sign of things to come as we push into next week. Because what's going to happen is we're going to see the Atlantic start to take over somewhat through at least the first half of the week. Plenty of cold air centered over Central Europe, if you notice here. And as we go through next week, the Atlantic is going to be the main driving force. However, as we go through the middle part of next week, and in particular, there is some indication that high pressure that is kind of building into the UK. We're going to see spells of frontal systems and rain and wind and whatnot. Nothing particularly stormy by any stretch, but an area of high pressure is going to initially build into the UK, and that could settle things down, make for frosty nights, and so on and so forth. But we're also going to see that high become very firmly established over the continent. The key to that is how far north into Scandinavia does that core of high pressure go? Because we're going to see pressure rise quite significantly at the surface, and therefore underneath that high we've got an easterly airflow, albeit the continent isn't just as cold as what it was, but certainly at this time of the year there is indication that we could pick up somewhat of an easterly as we go through mid and late next week. As you can see here, the GFS is indicating this is still the 850 millibar temperatures, but look at this here by next Thursday morning. You've got milder at 5,000 feet to the north, but you've got colder air now starting to make inroads across the southern half of the UK via easterly winds. So we do have the potential for an easterly developing through the course of next week, and then we can pick up a cooler pattern once again. You notice here by the time we get out the next weekend, according to GFS, this is one model run. It chops and changes. You know that. But it looks as if we do turn cooler once again. So the continuation of this back and forth is going on. That's it for today. I hope to have a written post later on for this afternoon, and I hope you have a great weekend ahead. I'm going climbing tomorrow morning, so there won't be any post at all. So there won't be any written post, there won't be any video till at least Sunday, if not Monday. So we'll wait and see what happens. Hope you have a great Friday. Bye for now.